Hall of Fame. Big box say yo.
Y'all must have forgot.
Y'all must have forgot.
In the booties.
Attention.
Yeah.
Friends came in at 1.
This is a mega.
It's a weekly wrap up.
It's paydays.
Judge on the panel.
Very competitive.
CHANN.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Fight.
Yo, hey girl, it's Lady CHANN, and welcome to. Oh, I need to change my background. Hey, I can still leave it on this one, I guess. We'll see. The weekly wrap up show. We in the booties in. Ding, 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 ding. Kaboom. Tell me if on you guys' side, the audio, I've having to play around with this thing. You know, I'm not one of these people that I'm usually on this side of the mic and not having to do the other side with the technicalities. And so, you know, YouTube tutorials like, oh, what's gone wrong here? And oh God. And that's first. So hopefully, I thought it was a port that was my mic was plugged into a different port from the button, but it doesn't seem to that was it's all gate problems and audio processors and oh God. Anyway. Let me do my members only roll call. I apologise for the technicalities of why I am late. I tried to go early and I still ended up on the same goddamn time. As I always do. But I wanted to go a little bit early to, you know, to help out my UK brethren because they complain that I'd be late. I'm like, you lot are not my main demographic. It's the Americans, so I've got to kind of accommodate for them. So come on half hour and go to bed. I want to hear you moaning. Okie doke. So let's go with members only roll call. Okie dokes, we've got my gorgeous girl, Adrian Nicole, in the bootism. Zyrax, in the bootism. King Boxing, in the bootism. Strangeness, in the bootism. Zara K, in the bootism. Boxing God 7, in the bootism. TMBN, in the bootism. Nino Nation, in the bootism. Daniel Agnew, in the bootism. Chino Figueroa, in the bootism. Modern King Boxing, in the bootism. And T's, in the bootism. Leon Figures, in the bootism. Matt G, in the bootism. Don't Touch Your Bum, in the bootism. Stephen T, in the bootism. Sister That Never Fails, Queen Lisa Bales, in the bootism. Nasty Bedford from out of NY. What up, Nez? In the bootism. What up, man? What up, gangster? Retro boxing and documentaries, blood boxing. In the bootism. Conchonery. In the bootism. My sister, Harlem's finest, Artie the Let. In the bootism. This style boxing, mi hermano también. En el edificio, what this is. AJ all day. Independism. Aplauda el primo era. En el edificio. Lo que sabes. And last but not least, Dr. P. Independism. Wales's finest, by the way. So, without further ado, let me get the crew, Massive and crew. Oh, I'm so happy to see this one back. One of my favourite people in life. And it's introducing, introducing, introducing. It's Kenny Ken, AJ all day, KOK in the building. Ding, 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 ding. What up, Joe? Kaboom. Kenny Ken, KOK, AJ all damn day.
Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys.
Hey, good to see you, Kenny, man.
Hey, Kenny, welcome back, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys. One thing I will say to you, you missed one of the best boxing atmospheres out there. At Wembley.
Oh, wow. I know.
Kenny Ken was there.
Yeah, you were. I forgot you were. You went. Yeah, man.
I would say right now, the fights were very good in the build. I thought the score officiating on the Kakache Warrington fight was a joke. There was no way it was that wide. And Billy Joe Saunders and Boatsy a split decision. But I don't think you guys really want to talk about that. You want to talk about Anthony Joshua, who basically.
Yeah, we can.
I'm sorry, Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
Personally, if you're going to fight like that, then you should, for me, you shouldn't really be in boxing. You've made so many fundamental mistakes. As soon as he walked out, my wife went up to me and said, "He don't look right. He don't look right."
Wrong, isn't it? Again.
That was right. But the thing about Anthony Joshua is that I looked at his yeah, I kept on shouting because we were row 5, and obviously the ring was about 40 yards away from us. So we were really near. We were near the ring walks, and Dubois came out and he was pumped, and I thought, mate, this guy's too pumped. And then my wife went, yeah, but look at AJ, he don't look right. And then as soon as he walked out, I was screaming towards his corner, screaming towards the wing, and said, AJ, your head's too high, your hands too low. Stop! What are you doing? What are you doing? Everything about AJ was stiff. Everything about Dubois was loose and smooth. It's like the jab. Even the jab was nice and smooth. The right hand was smooth. He had a plan. AJ didn't. It's like AJ didn't have a plan. And if he did have a plan with Ben Davison, he ignored everything he was taught, because there's no way Ben Davison would tell AJ to go into the ring against a big puncher, a fighter who's improved, who holds the belt with your head held high and your hands low. There's no way Ben Davison will ask him to do that. Not a chance. So something. Either AJ forgot the game plan, was too nervous, and went and done his own thing.
Oh, I got something for that when we get there. Because
we got Gredax. Right, Gredax. Kaboom, Gredax. Thanks for joining us, Greds.
You're welcome.
All right. But don't we want to skim through a bit of the card first? So that's the highlight. We're going to just because I didn't get to watch the whole card because you see Sky, when you buy it on Sky Box Office, if you're not a Sky customer, I use my mum's Sky Go, you can't rewatch it straight after. You have to wait till Sky then posts it on Wednesday. So I was in and out of doing lives with Fatty and a joint over here. So I was kind of not paying attention. I was on, panel and then my own panel. And so bits and pieces I saw the card. But if anybody would just you can, Ken, you can go through with absolutely Chamberlain. That was an upset. Turkey Al Shakes.
We were there for the whole card. I think we missed the first 2 rounds of Padley Chamberlain. But Chamberlain obviously is Turkey Al Shakes' favourite fighter.
Sure
but
is.
In terms of Chamberlain, I always thought that Padley was sharper. So he threw the better punches. He couldn't miss
Sure.
Chamberlain with the right hand, and he actually put him down as well. And
Sure.
after that, it was like pretty comfortable. One thing I didn't like when I get to Wembley, because me and my wife are boxing fans. I don't understand how you could pay over £300 for a ticket, and you only come for the main event. I think that's just disrespectful for the fighters. You know, it was virtually empty to the extent that if we wanted to, we could have just climbed over and gone at ringside. It was that empty. But you know, first fight, Padley Chamberlain. Chamberlain, for me, made a lot of mistakes. Padley, had good fundamentals. Used his jab a lot. Beat him to the jab. Beat him with the right hand. And for me, it was a clear point to win. I think the pressure of being Turkey Al-Sheikh's favourite fighter finally got to Chamberlain.
God, what a tough job to do. Hey, come on. Harder things in life, like him being doing his 9-to-5 job as an electrician. I mean, it's how hard, how much pressure is it to be, the rich guy's favourite fighter, getting on every Riyadh.
Offer me a few mil and I'll jump in the ring.
Yeah, making like probably like 400, 500k each fight, even though your marquee value is like £90,000. Like, come on, no. You better rise up to that motherfucking pressure. Come on. Go ahead, sorry. I digress. Go ahead, Ken. I'm being salty and jealous because I'm not his favourite fighter.
Hey, he's good for boxing. You can't knock the fact he's very good for boxing.
Oh, I love the show.
He's given the public what they want. I don't think the public actually wanted to hear the Saudi Arabian national anthem before the AJ fight, but there was a few pork chops who gave the national anthem the finger and booed as well right in front of me.
Oh wow!
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No, they love
it wasn't very well received, but at the end of the day, I'm a believer. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. That's my belief. Anyway.
Yeah, the thing is that fight wouldn't happen without the Saudi money. So what are you gonna, I mean, if you don't want to be there, don't go. Otherwise, it would have been in Saudi Arabia, wouldn't it? So
yeah. So it's not in Saudi Arabia, but we got to have the Saudi Arabian national anthem. Otherwise, shut up, because you would have moaned if it was in Saudi Arabia like you did last time. So just be quiet, Britain. Go ahead. Yeah. Ken?
All right, you want to talk about the other fights? So who
was after that? Sorry. I thought you'd be famous Ken Frozen. So like,
no, I haven't frozen at all. It's just that I thought the second fight on the bill was Josh Warrington and Anthony Kakache. Right. I thought I enjoyed that fight. Went to 12 rounds. I thought when I heard that, one thing I didn't like was the scorecards. There was no way that Kakache won that by 8 rounds. He won the fight, but it was a lot closer than what I thought. I thought Josh Warrington struggled to. He was looking for that body punch, and he wasn't getting his punches off. He was game. He was stalking Kakache, but I thought Kakache's defense was brilliant. He had the better eye catching punches, and his body punches, were very, very effective. And for me, he was the winner. But some of the judging, I'm afraid, I wasn't happy with that, because people around me who were sitting around me were just screaming their heads off. Said, "Hang on here, that's not 8 rounds. That was not." One of the judges needs to be sacked. He really just needs to be sacked, because you can't give it that wide. Warrington did have some success. Warrington did win a few rounds. Yes, Kakache did win a few rounds. Yes, Kakache's defense was spot on, but no, I'm sorry, I can't subscribe to that scoring. It was bad.
Do you remember what the scores were?
Well, one of them was at 118, 110. There was no way
for Kakache.
For Kakache, there's no way Kakache won by that many rounds.
Yeah, basically.
There's no way that was the case. I would have had it 116, 112. And my wife, she had it as 115, 113.
So quite close then.
So yeah, we had it a bit closer than that.
I thought that was going to be I thought Warrington was going to get stopped. Considering that he was coming up in weight, he looked quite decent. He didn't look like he was cumbersome, like the weight was going to, because Kakache's a big dude. So I thought he looked very healthy, Warrington, and yeah, I did, but I was in and out of that fight, so I didn't see it in its cohesion. So
no, it was a good fight. I know, Simon Jordan was talking rubbish. He said that some of the fights were disappointing. Sorry, Simon. I know you want to see boxers unconscious and going to A&E. I like my boxing, to be like even Stevens and a bit of skill. That's what I want, and that's what I got with quite a few of the fights. I was happy with my day's work. Others weren't. Well, that's their problem. You know what I mean?
right,
You know why? You know why Simon Jordan said that?
because he wasn't there.
Not because Tyson Fury wasn't on the card.
Loves him, doesn't he?
It's funny.
Generational great.
Yeah. Well, that is something Tyson Fury isn't.
Joshua now he does actually. Weird. Go on.
But yeah. And then I think the next fight I saw was Boatsy and Willie Hutchinson. I thought on a spectacle. I thought that was the fight of the night. I really thought that was the fight of the night. The only thing
they tried to rob Boatsy and give him a split.
Absolutely, because Willie Hutchinson.
My God, that was terrible.
Yeah, so he's put a body punch in the 5th round, and the 9th round he's put down a body punch. He got that to the point. So basically, I was saying to my wife, there's a few others around me. So what exactly did Boatsy? So how many rounds did Boatsy win? To that, according to that judge, because he couldn't have won that many rounds.
Because there was 2 knockdowns.
2 knockdowns
And a point deduction.
Points deducted.
Oh God!
One thing
that needs to be looked into anyway.
Yeah, that judge needs to be investigated. They said.
Of course, that was just blatant.
He won't be getting.
Basically, one thing of note as well is Boatsy can bloody bang. I tell you, every time he caught Willie Hutchinson with either a jab or a right hand, the guy's head was keeping going back. He was right in my eye line, and I was looking at Willie Hutchinson. He's really game. There was a period in the 8th round where he had a flurry, and I thought he was, he was getting some scoring shots off Boatsy. But the problem was he wasn't affecting Boatsy whatsoever. It was a case of like Boatsy knew that he could take Hutchinson's power, knew that Hutchinson was a very speedy fighter. But what Boatsy did is that he didn't make the mistake that Craig Richards made when they fought, where Craig Richards allowed him a lot of room, where he allowed himself to be beaten to the punch. Boatsy, what he did with Willie Hutchinson really well, he stood in front of him, cramped him for room, overpowered him, and then used his jab and used his pat and put meat in his punches to actually get Hutchinson to retreat. And I think that's where the fight for me was won, and where the fight was lost. Hutchinson, if you give him like the space, allow him to beat you to the punch, you'll struggle against him. He's all action, but he doesn't possess the necessary power to hurt a fighter like Boatsy. But
Right.
if you want me to analyse it, if there's any Anthony Yard fans out there, I would say categorically on that performance, Anthony Yard knocks the pair of them out because he's just too explosive.
Right.
He stops them both in about 7 rounds.
Will he get the chance to have that fight though? Because he's fallen out with Frank.
Yeah, that's the main problem. It's the fact that it's politics really. Frank
He's
Warren
dribbled over thousands to lose millions. The guy's a genius.
Well, that's the thing. Frank Warren thinks that Anthony Yard is still his client. Anthony Yard believes that Frank Warren is no longer his promoter. So something's got to give.
I mean, I think Frank knows what he's doing. I'm sure his contracts are solid.
Oh, definitely. Someone clearly doesn't know how to read the small print. It is either Big Frank or.
Yesterday on his show, he said there'll be news like literally in the next few days. So stand by. So let's hold our
Nice.
thing, because he's like don't worry, there's some news in a few days and about a fight.
Mm.
So yeah, so I
So the
think
next fight on the bill
podcast
was
started.
Josh Kelly and Ishmael Davis. I thought Josh Kelly did enough to win. I think Ishmael Davis left it way too late. He was way too late to mount an attack. He cut Kelly. You know, he was rocking Kelly, but it was just too late. By the time
the last round or something.
yeah, it was the last round when Ishmael Davis let his hands go. But I'm sorry, what were you doing? What were you doing in rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? What were you doing then? You know, the fact is, Josh Warrington, you know, he made himself difficult hit, and then when he got hurt, that's when he went on to retreat. But by that time, Ishmael Davis made those, you know, the inroads in the 12th round. There wasn't enough time for him to win the fight. It was clear for me. It was clear Josh Kelly win. I think it wasn't the performance that Josh Kelly would have wanted because he prepared to fight Liam Smith. I think if he was fighting Liam Smith, I think you're probably seeing a better performance from him where he would, or everything you learn in training, you'll be able to see, you know, as part of his repertoire. I think in that fight with Ishmael Davis, I think he was looking not to get hit and, you know, punching from range and then getting out of the way, then, you know, on the move a lot. You know, he's trying to, you know, showboat a bit because, you know, he clearly didn't respect Davis's fundamentals. And then the last fight before the main event, they laughingly called it the co-main event. I mean, that's a joke. Shiraz and Denny, the co-main event. I mean, Jesus Christ. Desperation talks out.
Well, they moved up the Boazzi and Hutchison card up. Fight.
They moved them all up, but I think that the Shiraz and Denny fight, it was just pathetic. It was the biggest mismatch ever. It was a case of every time, you know.
I got that one right.
No, I was being dumb, and I was like, "Oh, maybe Shiraz." I said Shiraz will blitz him, but I'll go for maybe because Denny with the Felix cash. I know it's Felix cash. Maybe Shiraz might beat him on a split decision.
All you have to do is see the ring walks. See the stature of the two.
6 foot.
How's Denny going to land one on that chin? How is he going to reach him? It was like a mismatch in terms of like skill and reach. I couldn't wait for it to be over. But if you want me to talk about Liam Gallagher's set, I can talk about it, or I can let us everyone get to the event.
Let me just remind everyone where we're at. We're at the weekly wrap up. Shiggity, shiggity, what? Shiggity, shiggity show.
And there we have it. It's all that ran to the main event.
Did he do Wonderwall? Even though you know, that's
he did. His first song was.
You gotta roll with it.
No, it wasn't. It was Rock and Roll Star. Then it was Supersonic. Then Cigarettes and Alcohol.
Boo. Yeah. Liam Gallagher. You don't give a fuck. Sorry.
Hey, I've got to see it for free. You know, I'm no Oasis fan, but at least I'm not queuing up like a shop for their tickets.
Yeah, I mean, at least it was. I just don't want to see any.
Hey, there's a guy in the chat. He fires me a lot. We've done a few podcasts together. Jack Ramsey. He's a Crystal Palace fan, but he's also an Oasis fan. So be nice about Liam.
Oh God!
He finally got the tickets, but he had to go in the queue.
Roll with it. You gotta you gotta say what you say. Don't let anybody get in your way. If it ain't Wonderwall, I don't care. That's just how it goes for me. That's all. If it ain't Wonderwall, we don't care. But shouts out to Liam Gallagher. Yes, as Lisa said, join the membership. You know, join the membership. Give some membership. Hit the Cash App. $ CHANNAHOLICS. You know, let's remember we're trying to get me over to Arizona just to go and see a friend. My friend was like, "This is all of a fund." It ain't really for that, but we just say it's that. The Puppy Blanco Fund. God. Shouts out. As you can see, yeah. So, there's many ways to donate. But thank you for all the donations of the last few days when we was on air for the live watch. We had a lot of fun. Oh, you lot watched it on the Discord, some of you guys, didn't you? So I wonder how you lot reacted to, how did you lot react to literally.
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
Hate it.
Fucking hated every fucking bit of it. But we're going to chop it up and let's go.
In the building. In the building.
Right. Are you ready?
Round 1. Fight.
Let's go. Right. As we saw the upset of the day, week, month, year, decade. I could even edge to fucking, we will go for it. It felt like the upset of the century because that was crazy. But like I said, before going on air with AJ, I was talking with AJ and I was like, something's doing this. A little bit. I said,
You got that off feeling.
yeah, I said something's going to go awry. Seems to something with this AJ, with AJ. It's going to go
Why
awry.
did you think that? Was it how he walked out, or what's the?
No, I wasn't even on the air. This
That was even before she started the stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
started the stream hours before. Like,
You feel that before every AJ fight, or was just this one?
no, this one.
Huh.
This one. I said it's AJ. I went, but I'm going to ignore my intuition, and I'm just going to be like, and stop. It's every time I ignore my intuition, I'm always right anyway. I've got really heightened intuitivity, and I just knew. I literally just knew. Ask AJ. Just knew. I was
She's telling the truth. She's not lying.
Next time you get that feeling, put some money down.
no, I'm not a gambler. I know.
At least you could have made like £5 back.
Been able to buy a fucking handbag or something, innit?
I just meant the pay-per-view money back. Just like tenner or something.
At my 20 quid pay-per-view. But yeah. Oh, God. All right. Let's start with King of King Boxing because we ain't heard from you. So let's go with you, mate. Let's go.
All right. Well, the main event. I picked Dubois coming into the fight. I thought the fight wouldn't go past 6.
See any evidence of this, so we don't know if you really.
I posted it on my page before the fight, so it's on there.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah. It wasn't no hind thought or anything like that. And here's the thing about it. It's not a lucky guess either. There are certain factors that led me to pick that. The base factors at first is I think a lot of people's interpretation of what each one of these guys was presenting was kind of weird. Like I kept hearing, like, for one minute, people were like that Dubois would gas out, and then I hear on the telecast they're talking about his motor. I'm like, what? Like, okay, it is what that is. I don't know what that's all about. But then there's some of the things about AJ, they were like, oh, well, AJ needs to take him out early. I'm like, no, AJ knocks out dudes late in fights. So that doesn't make sense either. The main thing for Dubois, why I felt like that he could pull it off, is this is like literally the fight of his life. He literally, to win this fight, he basically erased all the bad things that were said about him. He becomes like he's not going to be the fan favorite nowhere like AJ was, but he basically, it means a lot to him. But at the same time, for AJ, you become 3-time world champion, you erase all the stuff, and you get to say that maybe you just had you had a bad matchup with Usyk, or we say that he's the best fighter of this era, and that's the only guy you lost to. So then you almost erase that as being something to bring up. Off the rip. And another thing. The style that I thought Dubois had to fight to win this fight, he literally has fought twice in the last couple of fights. The fight with Miller was kind of like a dog fight where they had to go back and forth. And then the same thing with Hrgovic. Hrgovic kept hitting him with the right hand, which I thought was going to be an issue. But he walked through him, but Hrgovic doesn't have AJ's power, so that's what's another thing. But here's my main problem, and I heard Kenny say it about Ben Davison. Didn't have him go out there with his hand down like that. I'm gonna give you a quick correction on some film study. I rewatched that Franklin fight. I rewatched the Helenius fight. In those fights, AJ had his left hand pinned either to his chin or towards his face. He kept it up there the whole time. If he moved his left, if he threw the jab, it came from the chin and never came back down below the chin, and then he would move his left hand across his face to block or to prepare to forward block. When he fought Valen, the hand came down. Now, I first assumed that was because he was fighting a left-hander and he was trying to pair with it, but the hand came down towards his chest. I even went back to like Pula fight where he always kept it up by his chin, always kept it up past his face. Fight after that, he fights Ngannou. And I know it's a short fight, and he knocks him out easy. The jab, the hand is in that same place down by his chest. And he's pairing with the jab. Now, the only difference I've seen between those fights with Helenius and Franklin is Ben Davis. It becomes his trainer. And I'm under impression that he's the one that started him doing that because he was trying to make it so that he would throw the jab quicker from a different area. Like it's almost trying to disguise the jab, but it's not necessary because he could throw it straight from the chin easily and still block. This fight, he did exactly that. The jab was brought down to his chest, and Dubois was just wide open for the overhand right. And he just like I said, Dubois just kept coming. Dubois came in basically like no respect. He was rough. He put forearms in his face. He just was all over him from the gate. And another thing that I would say, like I said, I'm not trying to say Ben Davison is the reason why he lost. But in the fourth round, at the end of the fourth round, I seen in the telecast later on, they replayed it. He's the one that told him to throw that uppercut. He literally said, throw 2 left jabs and then throw the uppercut coming forward. Now, part of that was, I think at the end of the fourth round, if you guys notice when AJ kind of gestured to Dubois to help him in his stool, I think he thought Dubois was finished. Like he had gassed himself out a little bit. So he's kind of like, so that's the other thing is like, you know, I heard somebody pre-telecast trying to say that AJ has a glass. He's completely lucid. Even though he's getting dropped and he's hurt, he's still completely, his faculties are completely there. So he's battling through that the whole time. But like I said, he goes into the corner and they told him to throw that uppercut and it was thrown, it was terrible. He got caught in between it because it was coming back too long. He threw it exactly how they said to, throw the double jab. Now he threw a right hand before it and he got knocked out. So like I said, I don't want to put a lot of this on Ben Davison, but that, like, I'm not putting that on Joshua putting his hand down like that. I think that was strategically something that was taught to him to do because if you look before Ben Davis is his trainer, he's not doing that. So we all remembering this fight because this is the latest one, but we don't remember the last two because he knocked both those dudes out. Easy work. But if you look in those fights, he was fighting like that. Like the left hand down towards the chest, nowhere near the chin. And like I said, he did that tonight with Dubois. And unfortunately, because Dubois, you have to go back and look at the tape because I watched both of them.
I just don't ever remember AJ fighting with his hands as low as that.
If you go back, and Otto Wallen's probably better one because, like I said, it's longer. Yeah. And at first, like I said, I just wanted to pass it off at first as maybe because Otto Wallen's a left-hander. But he did the same thing in the next fight. And it's literally just it's a slight level difference. It's like his hand went from his chin, always stayed up flush against his chin, and he would move it over to his forehead and his head to block. If you watch the Otto Wallen fight and then even like I said, the Ngannou fight, that hand is down near his chest. It's down, bringing to his chest where he's extending it to jab from there. And that's exactly how he started this fight. And I'm just saying, like, I seen like that to me was a huge contributing factor to him getting knocked out. Because he couldn't block the shot. It was like there all day. Dubois was throwing it from the bottom and just reaching over the top with the right hand. It was like ridiculous, almost cartoonish how he was throwing it. And like I said, AJ's hand was just down. He was getting hit with it over and over again. He took a lot of shots. Like for him to keep going, he took a lot of shots. And like I said, Dubois was just all over him, and he just never stopped. That's pretty much, like I said, that's all you wrote. But like I said, I did watch the film, and like I said, a lot of that did come after he changed trainers. So I'm like I don't know. Ben Davison, that advice he gave him at the end of the 4th round was terrible.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I mean, like people just we've been running towards trainers. I'm not opposed to him being with Ben Davison. I hated Joshua with Derek James. Derek James taught him to be flat-footed and lackluster. I didn't like him with Derek James. I didn't like him with Robert Garcia. Didn't like him with any of them. So
I'm not saying necessarily it's Ben Davidson's overall training, but I'm saying like from Joshua's whole career, at no point in time in this whole fight did we see him do the high guard. He always keeps his hands up. So even like, people want to give him knocks that he doesn't got a lot of head movement. Well, because he keeps his hands up. So even if he doesn't move his head, he keeps his hands up. If you watch like I said, the change is there. So I'm not saying Ben Davison is the reason why he lost the fight, but I'm saying I don't think Joshua went in there just thinking, let me keep my left hand down. I think I'm Roy Jones Jr. all of a sudden. No, I think it was a strategic decision to do that. I don't know why. But like I said, I've seen it in the last 3 fights where the hand comes down. And now, like I said, he got exposed because he had power punching power.
Yeah, that wouldn't work against someone like a Dubois, regardless. I mean, look, like you say, in victory, everybody salutes the trainer. They'll take the defeat as a team as well. So unless AJ sacks him, because at the end of the day, you can't just keep going from trainer to trainer to trainer. It's an AJ issue for certain things at the end of the day. He's had trainer after trainer after trainer, so he has to stick somewhere. I think he finds it. I think he just likes being in the UK. I think he prefers being with Davison. I heard they gel well. I just can't believe Ben Davison would tell him, go in, keep your hands low.
No, it's not even keeping it low. It's just the fact it's not low in the sense where he's trying to keep his right hand was up. But if you look how he's throwing the jab, the left hand, I'm like I said, you guys will have to go back and look at the tape of the Otto Wallin fight. The hand is clearly down. And like I said, the fight prior to that with Helenius is completely up towards his chin. So like I said, maybe AJ chose to do that, start fighting like that. I don't know, but I noticed the change happened there.
Because then it would have to mean that Ben Davison told him to don't use any basic fundamentals. Because he didn't have any even normal, he didn't have footwork, he didn't have timing, he didn't have distance. So I just don't think that Ben Davison was like, because he did before with Otto Wallin, he did jab checks, he hit Wallin to the body, then up top, changed the levels with the jabs. His jabs were spiteful. I just don't.
If you look, the reason he was able to throw that jab to the body, like I said, it's hard to explain it without you guys actually seeing it. But if you go back, like I said, we can go, like if you guys get a chance and look at the Olive Wallin fight, his hand is down there. And that's where, like I said, it's not, there's a reason you do that, because it is easier to throw that jab to the body. It's hard to throw it from up top with your hands up. So it is a setup punch, because I think he was trying to make his jab more dynamic. But like I said, against the Dubois, it was just a mistake, because I don't think they anticipate Dubois just to be like fucking like balls to the wall, I'm all over you. Like,
they did. That's the thing. We did, because at the post-fight press conference, Ben Davison said we knew he was going to come out fast. We knew it as the general public. We've been saying it for the last how many weeks? And he confirmed that.
If in his last fight when he fought Hrgovic, I think there was a bit of tenseness, but I think with Hrgovic, he's the bigger man, the bigger reach. But when he knew he could hurt Hrgovic, that's when he went in. But I think with this Joshua fight,
he always starts a little bit faster though, Daniel. In comparison,
this fight in itself, the plan was there, but it was like Andy Joshua gave him ammunition. It was like there's something about, you know, like as much as AJ is a fantastic fighter, he's a good athlete. There's times when there's good AJ, there's bad AJ. The good AJ is the one who's explosive. You know, like I said, like I said, keeps his hands up, and then like I said, builds his attacks, and then obviously when he does get his favourite uppercut, that's when he does it correctly, and with his hands up. He always makes sure when he's throwing the uppercut, he has a bit of protection for his face. But there's a bad AJ. The bad AJ is the AJ that is stiff when he goes to the ring. He's upright, hands are low, and then when he gets hit, he stays hit. That's bad AJ because simple reason, all the plan goes out the window, and then he takes his own chances. And I think with this fight, one of the biggest mistakes he did. I don't know whether he was prepared for it or not, or maybe Dubois got in his head because of what happened at the press conf. In the the gloves off with Ade, and then the rumours about what happened in sparring. Whatever happened, Dubois got into his head because when a fighter gets in your head, that's when your fundamentals go out the window. That's when you do things and you don't listen to your trainer, and that's when you're stiff. You basically leave yourself open. First round, he was getting beaten by the jab. It's schoolboy error to allow yourself when you're coming to the end of the round to get hit with a right hand that everyone can see except for you.
Yeah, that's why I don't think it's. I don't think it's nothing to do with Dubois getting in his head. I don't
know, whatever it is, whatever game
plan, teaching him bad fundamentals. I don't think that.
It's on AJ.
I just think it's him.
Yeah, AJ. I don't know whether
it's just like it's coming. I just think it's him at this point.
No, I think what it was is
like he seems to want to be inconsistent. I don't know because I just don't believe that Ben Davison will say, make sure you come in with your hands dropped down low, no good footwork. We're going to forget about footwork. None of that. We ain't going to be a mid-range fighter anymore. Or you really dance on the balls of your feet. We're going to forget about that. You are a back foot fighter. We're going to pretend that you can't back foot fight. And that's what we're going to do because he couldn't, all of a sudden, he couldn't fight going backwards when he always could before. I just don't believe Ben Davison taught him all of these multitude of things.
It's none of those things. The only part was, like I said,
those are the things, though. But you're pointing out,
one piece of that.
I'm pointing out everything in its entirety, meaning that he had zero fundamentals. He looked well, no one can look as bad as Deontay Wilder, but it was a couple notches.
No. Hey, Chan, I have to admit, I was there live.
What I'm saying, all right, you can understand a fighter that's never had fundamentals like him. When you see a fighter that's had fundamentals and then all of a sudden they go into a fight and they don't seem to have any of the fundamentals, to me, I can't say that's on the trainer.
I think a lot of that has to do with it's hard to deal with pressure and power. There's a couple things I didn't notice about Dubois. I first of all didn't know he had that much foot speed. Like I was like shocked how he was leaping in. It was like literally like it was like old school Sean Poor Polymon. Now you're like jumping in with the left hook. It's like, how the hell are you coming that far back? And he has power in both hands. Like I did not know his left hook and his jab hit that hard. Because when he would throw it, it was like he was popping AJ's head back and he was throwing. I'm like, what in the hell? And even then, like I said, AJ was trying to sustain, but I just didn't realize that Dubois was that quick. I thought AJ did have a speed advantage, at least in the hands, but I was surprised that Dubois was that fast.
Dubois has always had that ability, King of Kings. It's just that I think with Dubois, he sometimes he doesn't have that kind of belief. You get a feeling with Dubois that I say it respectfully. I really say it respectfully. But he looks like he needs reassurance from his dad or his trainers, and he doesn't. I think for the first time, since he lost to Usyk, he's now thinking. He's actually thinking for himself in the ring. Where before he didn't really kind of think so. He always needed reassurance. But if you look at his fight since Usyk fight, since that pep talk with Usyk, Dubois has got better and better. The best thing that happened to Dubois was the Usyk fight. From then on,
his dad's still in his corner though.
Yeah, but the thing is, he doesn't look for him for reassurance. It doesn't look like he's waiting. What I meant
He
what
kept
I meant,
looking at and they was like,
yeah,
why is he?
what I meant in terms of the game plan, and the way he executed the game plan, it looks like it's someone who knows what he's doing. He's someone who's in charge of the ring. That he doesn't look unsure of himself. He's at a stage of his career when he can execute that plan. And let's face it, AJ made it very easy for him because AJ, as much as we say AJ's got the fundamentals, for some only AJ knows why he made so many mistakes. And the thing about it, when he got hurt, that's when you need to be. You try and be your most coherent and try and get a bit defensive, get your fundamentals, back. Try and like I said, stay in the fight, wait for the fighter to tire, and then you can make your move. What AJ was doing is that he wasn't waiting for Dubois to tire. He was panicking because he was getting hurt, and then when you panic, you forget the game plan, and then you start fighting like he was basically fighting like he was having a scrap in the Litton Tree in Holloway Road. Seriously, that attack before he got knocked out, it was like he was having a scrap at a Litton Tree in Holloway Road, where it was like it might as well be doing a windmill. He might as well be doing a windmill, and then he got greedy. He got very greedy when he knew he was hurting Dubois. Got excited, and then
all Andy Ruiz think.
And then he made that mistake. He got a warning. He got the warning as well because when he came in after throwing his two right hands, Dubois went for that right hand, but he missed. He didn't catch him cleanly.
Yeah, nubbed it.
But it was always on. When he gave Dubois the second chance, boom! When he walked onto it, Dubois wasn't going to pass up that chance again.
Well, it wasn't it was the uppercut that left him open because both right hands landed. The problem was when he opened.
They weren't flush though, were they?
Yeah, when he ducked down.
One of them was flush. The
first one was that stumbled him back, and then he came in for the kill. And it's just like, to be honest, the way he threw that uppercut, it almost like he was like, "Oh yeah, I have an uppercut," and it just was threw way low and slow, and he's like, "What's the name?" Just threw it.
There was something weird, is what I'm saying. Not just like there was something weird. No timing, no fundamentals, no gauging of distance, it was nothing. That is the worst AJ I've ever seen, ever in his whole 30
He got hurt. When he got dropped.
His heart,
the first time.
great heart. He displayed heart.
Oh yeah, he displayed heart. But he stayed heart.
Always gets up.
But
performance.
Yeah, but when his hands touched the glove and they kept letting him swing on him, like that shit was crazy. Like there was, I think it was just like you said. He was hurt. Dubois, when I heard what he weighed in, he came in there ready to rumble. He was to his career high, but he's not fat. It's all fucking like strong man muscle, and he come in there every time. See, because when AJ got hurt, he knew enough to try to clinch, and Dubois' response was forearm in your neck. Get off me. It was like he was physically, not only was the power was greater, the speed, but he was physically imposing himself upon him. He's like, if you want to wrestle with me, you're going to have a problem. Every time he would come to grab or clinch, you see AJ's head way in the top because Dubois just sticking his forearm all up under his neck. It was crazy.
He's not good at clinching, AJ. It's never been.
Yeah, it's like trying to hug him, and then Dubois like no, and almost making space, but Dubois didn't have to punch in those moments because he knew, he didn't want to take a chance of something happening.
I put his arm in AJ, and then AJ pushed him off. Like, nah, mate. Right now you're going a little too far with all of this, and he pushed Dubois off because I remember when we was calling, we was like, yeah, that's what you do. When he's doing that, push him off. He's not a great clincher at all. See, I've got to watch it. Thanks to Turkey Al Sheikh, but even I
it's free on his channel.
So I started to rewatch it. I only got to after the what we call it, the Saudis and our national anthem, and then I was editing, doing my thing on the thingy, and that took ages because that was like 22 minutes, and then to edit, so I didn't even watch the fight the second time. So I've got to really, really knuckle down and watch it. Who's disappeared? I think it's AJ.
That was AJ.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Turkey got the fight for free. That was cool.
Yeah,
YouTube page,
exactly.
the whole fight.
His whole fight for free. Gredax, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I would disagree with you, sadly, completely. I think it's totally Ben, boxer size Ben. I think he's useless. I think I've seen a big decline in AJ's fighting since Ben came with him, but he's been up against, as I said last time, what I feel like bums. So that's why he's got away with putting his hands down, got away with sort of chin in the air.
Him putting his hands down. Have I totally missed
Yeah,
it?
he's had his hands down since he went with Ben, from what I remember. I
See
called it
that?
out on the previous time, but not here. But
Watch.
I noticed, yeah, chin in the air,
Picking him to lose.
like nothing's gonna come and crack him. He's been fighting lower opposition, so he's been able to get away with that.
Because everybody, if he was been fighting with his hands down, why hasn't nobody, even like boxing pundits from Boxing Beats and Rhymes to people on, that on the major platforms as well? No, we're all shocked that his hands were low.
I'll
So if
give you
you
a reason.
Because he was knocking out those dudes. Because if you look at Otto Wallin,
consistently low. Why?
there was a lot more. The thing about it is Otto Wallin, if you look at that fight, he's throwing so many other punches that it almost negates it to the point where it's not like the hands low and he's not doing anything with it. Like you said, he was throwing it to the body and up top. And it actually does there. I've seen Lennox Lewis describe it when he was in like training, that you do arch your arm out like that because you can vary the jab and his speed a little different. So there's a reason behind it. But the problem is when you're a heavyweight and a guy has a right hand, you get what? Because look, for Otto. So his thing is like his dominant hand is the left hand. So even if even throwing his power hand, it's going towards the right hand. So you don't have to block. And then in Ngannou, let's keep it real. Like AJ sent him to the graveyard like he should have. You're an amateur, get out of my sport. So nobody's thinking about that because he's like, what's the name saying? You could kind of get away with the left-hander who doesn't have power. And then like Ngannou, like I said, he was on a mission to destroy him. So you don't really notice it. But like I said, if you go back in them fights, I mean, it's literally, you can see the fight right before that go back and watch the first round of the one against Hellenius. His hand is tucked up against his chin. I even went back and watched the Pula fight. He has his hand up by his chin, covering his face to block. And then like I said, Otto Wallin, it comes down.
Because he had real boxing trainers then.
Rob McCracken, isn't he? But I think the problem is,
go ahead.
The problem we have in this country is that too many people like your Simon Jolsons, your Carl Frotches, we're always saying, "Oh, this isn't an AJ. AJ's too tentative. He's got demons about what's happened." So basically,
been a hater.
Obviously it's easy to criticise box size Ben, which a lot of fighters do. But when things were going well, box size Ben was saying, "Oh, he's brought AZ back to his explosive."
That's why I'm not listening to no one.
It's not.
I've just decided it's too fickle.
I don't think it's too fickle.
Joshua. Now everyone's like, "Oh, he ain't really fought nobody in the last few fights. He weren't really that good."
One thing I'll criticise AJ for.
Wallin was a top 10 fighter at that time. So
I've been in the
not a
game
bum.
long enough now. I've been working in it long enough now to just to see what's coming.
Yeah.
Every one of those fighters he fought, I don't understand. Like calling Wallin a bum is kind of like extreme, dude. I think he might have been top 10. He had come off several good wins then.
Yeah,
so it's not like he was fighting somebody who was was washed.
Like cab drivers, like Uber drivers. He weren't fighting Uber drivers.
But I mean,
it's just stylistically he didn't have the power to hurt him. That's all.
I'm being facetious, right? I'm over dramatizing how bad the opponents are. They're not bums, but I'd say they're bums.
Fury fits. Them people gave Fury fits.
Compared to AJ, they are a lot less good, if you know what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's going to be quite a lot of people because they're
exactly
the heavyweight division.
Exactly.
Joshua.
Yeah. I mean, but I still sorry, Chan, go ahead.
No, I'll finish.
No, I mean, because because I agree, the Wallin win was still a very credible one because a lot of people, i.e. Teddy Atlas, were picking JJ to lose. and he didn't. He dominated him and stopped him in one-sided fashion. So that's still correct. I mean, the Ngannou win, of course, everybody knew where that was going to go. Who knew what they were talking about?
But
So
AJ, when Fury, as a reigning WBC champion, in the fight and got gifted a split decision, knocked on his ass. Everyone was like, oh, when AJ literally starches him in 2 rounds. Oh, that's what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
No, the reason I say that is because when we describe, I think my guy right there was kind of saying it, and it's gonna sound like I'm shitting on Tyson Fury, but here's the thing about it: the reason why I like maybe see something like that happening where he struggles is because he's not the professional. AJ don't come in out of weight. You don't got videos of him getting drunk on the beach, fucking up, doing dope, and so when we see the matchup and we're thinking, like, yo, if we had any fucking boxer that took their career seriously, we may not even get those Ngannou moments, but we did. But the truth be told, I loved him knocking out Ngannou. Like, I hate MMA dudes. They're always talking shit, acting like boxing. Man, when he came in, and so that's why I'm gonna shit all over Ngannou. You came into our sport, yeah, you fucked up on Tyson Fury, but Tyson Fury looked so sad at the end of that fight. He ran out the fucking building in front of Conor McGregor, looking like that's your fault. You've been playing around with that fight. You could have been had an AJ fight. If
that's
you
150 million down.
Yeah, you gonna dip out of the fight like I'm saying, like literally he got knocked. They show him, and then Conor McGregor's sitting there like, oh, and then Tyson wipes his hand and then leaves.
I mean, like literally after Tyson Fury he said something like, "Oh, you're credit to AJ. That's what a boxer's supposed to do." Oh, really? Well, why didn't you do that when you fought him?
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's not that we're trying to do that. We're just saying, like, maybe we, on some levels, as a professional, we hold AJ in a higher regard than we do Fury.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Technically, Fury is almost out of a generation of fighting. Like, a lot of fights he's doing, it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, this should have been you and AJ with 96,000 4 years ago, 3 years ago, bro.
For real.
He didn't want it.
He messed people around.
Just because I just pity it because he's done everything he could to try to make Undisputed. He's tried to do it with Wilder. He's tried to do it with Fury. They've always wasted his time. They never wanted to fight him ever. Now it's done. It's over. You know what I mean?
That was already his best. That was already
it's just crazy.
But you know, for AJ, the reason why I'm hard on AJ, because you know what I regard as AJ's best performance. You guys be surprised. I thought AJ's best performance from a boxing point of view and how I like the sport to be, how I like to see the sport was his rematch with Ruiz Jr. That's how I
loved that.
I thought that was his best performance. Everyone wants to talk about the knockouts. For me, everything he did was beautiful boxing. So when I see AJ perform like that, and then 5 years later I go and see that garbage, I get angry.
No, it doesn't make sense.
You can do it. You can do it.
Because sorry,
but been through that already with Ruiz, and it almost is like there's some kind of replica carbon copy that you've just copy and pasted that night. And unfortunately for AJ, for being the cash cow of boxing, he always loses in a groundbreaking way. It's always at world record events.
Yeah.
He can't lose low key. Like other people will lose. He doesn't lose in a York Hall. He doesn't lose, down the right. He don't lose at your local leisure centre. He loses in front of 98,000. He loses in front of 10 minutes, and he sold out Madison Square Gardens on his debut. He loses always bitter. When he loses, oh honey, he loses. He's got canvas meetings when he loses. But why should we look at canvas meetings as any different from, like, for real, Juan Manuel Marquez? Look what he did to Manny Pacquiao. It's true.
Hello.
Why is it why is everybody like, oh my God, boxers hit the canvas. Oh my God, boxers get knocked out. Oh my God, boxers get stopped. Oh my God, boxers retire on the stools. Like, ain't this boxing? What I'm sick of is that across the board, like, you guys hold AJ at just different standards all the time, and we see it and we clock it. And the minute that we call it out, you guys try to call us fanboys and fangirls. Well, if that's what makes a fanboy and a fangirl, then the fangirl is in the building. Yeah. That's it. Because on my watch, I'm never not going to call out you lot's hypocrisies. I see it.
Yep.
And it's just solely based just in hate. You just hate the guy.
That's
just
beautifully said. Beautifully said, Chan. Beautifully said. I mean, because like because I try to keep the same standards for all boxers. I mean, I'll admit myself, as I'm sure everybody on here could relate to, especially you, Chan. Like I'm a more of a fan per se of others. You know, like more so than other. So but it's like I try to hold every fighter to the same standard. Every fighter. Like if Tyson Fury had beaten Usyk, I would have given them credit for it. I mean, I wouldn't have liked to, but I still would have. I would have gave him his flowers. I mean, like the same thing. Like if Spence would have beat Crawford, same thing there. You know what I mean? Even though like their fanboys would have never let us hear the end of it.
Congratulations,
yeah. Even though like their fanboys would have never let us hear the end of it. So it
was the other way round. Yeah,
correct. I mean, but with this performance, it just. I know some people are in the chat here now. I'm sure you pretty much you guys are here. It never ceases to amaze me how, the Monday morning so-called quarterbacks and the hindsight masters and Mr. and Mrs. I told you, etc. Like they just seem to come out of nowhere and just want to rub it in our face. Like, why?
I didn't even do a post-fight review till today. Like 10 minutes after I got off air, they was in my comments like off of a prediction. That wasn't even me speaking. It was just me showing my Twitter predictions for the card. They ran to my comments like literally. In the end, I was going. I just took them out. Like, listen, you just.
But I just say that to say this. Like, if you actually take time out of your day to do stuff like that, you seriously need to find something else better. Like, what are you, 12?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like at the end of the day, right? When Wilder lost and all that, we didn't run to Wilder channels and go, we just did our own.
When Wilder got smashed by Zhang, I didn't care. I mean, I got that right. I said Zhang would knock him out, and that's what happened. I didn't go brag. I didn't go to tournament fanboys and shit like that and make fun of them. So
when Spence lost, I just did my own show.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, we talked about it. I'm not going to troll fanboys, even though you guys would have went in on us had the other way we had.
That's why to be honest, to be honest, when it comes to talking boxing, that's why I only really come on here. Because a lot of other people are like, if you guys notice, if Shan ain't doing her show, you ain't gonna see me nowhere.
Yeah,
like, it's just straight up like, because I get so irritated with people coming back and saying, look, man, I didn't like, if you a real boxing fan, you're gonna take some L's in your picks from time to time. It is what it is. I've had to come up with
two-headed coin, two-sided coin. You get some right, you get some wrong.
I've got boxing rules that have guys that I've supported that put them in a bad light, but I have to be consistent. Like I can't sit there and say to you, oh, I feel like this one situation then the same situation for you, guy. So like I said, that's why I don't even get involved with none of that stuff, because a lot of those people are just trying to irritate you. They don't know shit about boxing.
Yeah, but look at this comment here from AG.
Rule is never rule.
You look at this comment from AG. Fury's the man of the UK. All right, I hear you, but let's not forget, your man Fury is not the best heavyweight in the world.
He's not. No,
your man Tyson Fury got well beaten in that fight.
He got his ass whooped and scored by Usyk.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The only fight that's exempt from any sort of like criticism is Usyk, because he's won at cruiserweight. He's cleaned up the heavyweight division. The thing about our British fighters, CF5. The problem is in the UK, unfortunately, if you're rich and you're famous and you do well and you win, everyone's your friend. When you lose, all of a sudden people said, well, what I hate about people who criticise AJ, because I think, well, he wasn't that good. He was a manufactured fighter. He lost to the Italian in the Olympics. So they got it. You weren't saying it there. Like, you look at those 96,000 fans. I spoke to a father and a son.
AG, well beaten. Fury lost to Usyk in a close fight, mate. It weren't close. It weren't no close. It weren't close like that. Whereas in the aesthetics, that your mate got pummeled.
That wasn't a close fight. That was not a close fight.
Round 9, he got pillared to posted, literally.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like guys like this.
Do you know what it is? It's in the UK. They just hate AJ because he's handsome, he's rich, and he's black. That's what you lot hate. He's black. We know
The
that's
reality is it's not even to keep it
and you
real.
lot don't like black people. That's what it is. I said it. You don't like him because he's black and
Facts.
rich. So you go with your white hope that nobody gives a fuck. That's a drug cheat. Got his belt stripped. Never held any moral standards in life at all. Ducked every type of smoke that he could do and had a smoke and mirrors career, called the middleweight, pumped up middleweight, cruiserweight, and got molly-whopped. So get the fuck out of town. If you can just come out and say, I'm racist and I don't like AJ because he's black, I would respect you more than you coming and saying the trash about a mid-level, at best, Tyson Fury. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And now you shan't be addressed any further, Mr. AG. Anyway.
Hey, the funny part about talking about UK supremacy, y'all are sleeping on if you don't think Dubois can't go out there and do some shit to Fury like that. So let's not get it twisted.
He
So,
can.
I mean, let's keep it real, man.
He can. He's a good. Dubois a good fighter, and you know the fact is that he had a good amateur career. I think he got kicked in the teeth as well. I thought when he with the Joe Joyce thing, a lot of people said that he's a quitter. With Usyk thing, a lot of people called him a quitter because he went down on one knee. He's had to come back from all of that bollocks. And let's face it, the 96,000 fans at Wembley came to see him, AJ fight, not him. Yeah. He was treated like he was treated worse than the B-side.
They didn't even say nothing when they said his name. There wasn't even no cheers or nothing.
Yeah. And the way the crowd treated him, they booed him. Like some of them actually called him. There were some fans who called him autistic around me. Who were around me called him autistic.
He is autistic. I said it.
Yeah. But you don't wonder.
There's nothing wrong with that, but he is autistic.
Yeah, but after the fight, I got talking to a father and son, and we had a good conversation. And they said they called themselves boxing experts. Everything they were very critical of AJ. And then when we got to Fury and Usyk, they went up to me and they said, "Well, they think Usy's going to do it." And I said to them, every boxing expert, alleged boxing expert I've heard, has said the best way to beat Usyk is to sit on top of him, try and take him out in the first few rounds. And I said to this father and son, what happens after rounds 6 and 7 when Usyk's still standing there? You consumed all your energy, you got nothing left. I'll tell you what's going to happen. That's what if Fury's going to fight like that in rounds 7 to 12, Usyk's going to build a lead and walk away from him, or he may just take him out and knock him out because Fury has nothing left. And I think that's the thing with Usyk. The reason why I say Usyk's unbeatable because you can try all of that and not knock him out because he's got a heart of a lion. Plus, you're not going to catch him cleanly, and then he'll pull away. This is the only heavyweight I've seen at this moment. In this era at the moment, I think Usyk's unbeatable. I don't think anyone has got the game plan.
Getting old though.
I think the only thing that'll beat Usyk at this stage is time. Time will beat him. That's it. I think it's time.
Usyk beats himself for me. Usyk beats himself.
Well, that in time if he gets too old. I mean, if he sticks around, somebody will get him eventually. So.
Yeah.
Fury won't.
No. I know he won't. I'm not picking him to win that rematch later this year. So.
Listen, honey, Fury ain't beating him.
We're the very good
beat Usyk. None of them. I can't see him beating him because they're going to go with the same game plan, run out of gas, and then
Fury might get stopped in a second.
Finish him. Fatality.
That's what's going to happen. Fury's going to get bun up.
But Chad, I know we discussed this, privately, but I think that based on, I'm still trying to process what happened. Of course, I give Daniel Dubois massive props. I mean, this is the third time in hindsight I've actually picked him to lose, and he didn't. So, right there. I mean, but now I think just questions have to be asked about AJ because, like, you know, like just this was just awful. You know what I mean? Like how he came, how he looked, everything. I misread how he looked before. I thought he was just kind of focused or just whatever.
So did I. Oh yeah, there's a clip that I did. I should put it on there.
But it's just frustrating because the mistakes he was making, we know he's much better than that. You shouldn't need a trainer to tell you to keep your hands up and stay at a punching range. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, I mean, these are things you should already know how to do. You've been boxing long enough to know this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
This is why I'm not gonna go all out at Ben.
Take it all out on him because it's not his fault.
It's probably like maybe 10% on him. But I was just saying, like, the only reason I brought that up is because Kenny had mentioned it, and I was just trying to say, like, strategically, I've seen him doing it before, so it's like it must be. I mean, because if you think about it, almost the best way that I could probably describe it is kind of when he was training Fury as well. But Fury always fights like that, kind of like a goofy with the hand down shit.
Yeah.
So
but AJ was doing all that.
But AJ never, like I said, if you literally run back those last 4 fights, and it's the hand just comes down. It's only slightly at first. It's only comes down to like about chest level from the chin. And then this fight, it came down a little bit more. I just think Dubois just because this is the thing about for Dubois. He's a front runner. I think he felt like leading up to this fight, he just was like, maybe he really did. I don't know. He says the shit happened before he had something going on in his life. I'm probably leaning that maybe he was telling the truth because it doesn't, whatever it is, he done cleaned up. He had his little brother in there. He looks motivated. I think he understood what this meant. Like this was a do or die night for him. Like, think about it. Let's think about how Frank Warren has manipulated and used him over the years. He tried to make an AJ 2.0. He rushed a guy that was younger with no amateur background.
Well, he did now. So
yeah, he put him in situations. But no, all those things that came out that where he's digging himself out, that's partly Turkey Al-Sheeb taking over heavyweight boxing, putting fights together, and Daniel Dubois deciding to say, fuck it, I'm going to do what I want to do. And finally believing in himself. And once he gained that belief, that true belief of I'm dangerous, it was a problem, man. And that's it. And we seen what happened. Like Daniel Dubois is one of, like, if you ever seen I'm not trying to compare him to Tyson, but he's a psychological fighter. If he believes he can win, he's almost unstoppable. But once he thinks he can't, we seen it in the Usyk fight. He's coming forward. He drops him with a body shot, ruled low blow, whatever. Anyway,
I mean, well,
after that, he starts losing, and he just decides because it's not like he's concussed when he gets counted out. He's sitting there staring at the ref and just kind of just doesn't get up. So he has it's like he has to believe they can. Once he decides I can't win, it's a wrap. He just.
Yeah, I mean, what would Usyk and Joyce is like? He just said he realized he wanted out. He quit those fights. So I mean, not saying he's a quitter, but.
Yeah, so sorry. The Joe Joyce fight was a bit different. Where if you were to watch that fight back and say you did the scorecards round by round, I think a lot of people, I think even the judges had down the wall winning that.
They did. They had him ahead. Yeah.
It was only like the fact that he was under excruciating pain. You know, he thought. I think Jared Wall, when he went down on one knee, I think he thought about, I can't win this. I can't go on anymore. And then something inside and said, my career.
But that's quitting, right?
Yeah, he quit. He quit.
Quitting. You say it's quitting, but you look at the careers of Dan Dubois and Joe Joyce since then.
Yeah.
Look at Dan Dubois now. Look at Joe Joyce.
Yep.
I was with Joe Joyce on at Wembley, where he came for some reason. He came to our part. You know, I shook his hand. We had a bit of a chat, and when I looked at Joe Joyce, when I spoke to him, he looks like the sort of person who just didn't know what day it was. I'm not saying that from a mental point of view. It's that you know what it was. He looked at the 96,000 where Dubois fighting Joshua. You could tell in his eyes it hurt him because that.
Well, yeah, because he's probably thinking like this should be me right now in the ring.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe. So yeah.
But hey,
wait, one sec, hold up. Because we know why that is. It's like in that Dubois Joyce fight, we all know that Frank wanted Daniel to win that. There's no secret. And when he didn't push Joyce to that next level like he probably should have. I mean, because we all know he's always favored Daniel, always. Like you know, KOK said he wanted him to be Joshua 2.0. And I think that even after that, like, you know, after then he lost like that. You see Frank after the fight, he was devastated. You know what I mean? Like that it went like that. because he wanted Daniel to win. Joe upset those plans. So after that, I don't think he really gave Joe that push that he probably should have to really get a title shot.
Joyce had some good fights. Remember, he had that.
Yes,
he had that fight with Joseph Parker. Knocked him out
the first one to stop him. Yep, that was good. Good win. But then after that, the Zhang fight, and that was all she wrote. That was a mistake in hindsight now. So those didn't go his way.
But that was still Frank Warren's stable. I think maybe he was finally weeded. Like I kind of seen that he was trying to sharpen his fires because he wasn't trying to let him go out. But he had a good stable to put dudes up. You're absolutely right. I think he did want Dubois to win that fight. It was obvious because Joyce was older. But the truth be told, up to that moment, that's before the juggernaut got his chin, like before it got broke. So it's like this guy can kind of like if Daniel Dubois is somebody like I don't think maybe nobody knew that it was going to be a situation like that, like that he was just going to do that. And Kenny, like I said, bro, like if I put my sword down because I think I can't win, bro, I still surrendered. I still quit, so it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah,
I saved myself.
Just because
I still lost. I still surrendered.
It's not that Daniel Dubois quit. It's not that bad. But I think what's happened is that we're talking about comebacks. AJ's made a lot of comebacks.
Yep.
People written him off after Ruiz. I thought his performance in rematch is his best performance ever. And he went on a runs, beat some good fighters. Pulev's a very good fighter. He fought for the title. Against Klitschko, got knocked
only had
out.
one loss. Only had one loss when AJ fought him.
Only one loss as well. So when you think about it, AJ's had a very good career, very good career. And so Daniel Dubois. But what a lot of people are not talking about is that you've got to hand it to Frank Warren. 5 years ago, Frank Warren was on the outside where it was all matchroom. Eddie Hearn and his fighters were basically getting propelled prematurely, in my opinion, for world titles. They were getting world titles, I believe, on the cheap. It was matchroom. They had control of Sky. They were going to back America. Frank Warren, everyone was like Dillian White was talking about his financial problems and how he's had the bankruptcy letters and they were leaking them all the Frank Warren's financial information on the Twitter and Instagram. Look at Frank Warren now. Who's standing? Who's the last man standing? All right, don't get me wrong. Him and Eddie, with the money that's been provided with the Sheikh, to be honest, they're relevant now.
I don't think Eddie's crying at all. Do you know what I mean? He's got so much money.
But you look at Frank Warren and the fights he's producing, up and coming fighters. He's got a stable he had back.
He's got Moses as well, doesn't he?
He does.
Moses Atama, he's got him.
Yeah, he's got it all. You look at Eddie's stable now. Without AJ,
who are they gonna push? Johnny Fisher?
He got boots in it. There you go.
Johnny Fisher's gonna get his head kicked. He's gonna get his head ripped off.
I picked Moses Atuma to beat him right now if that fight was next.
Yeah,
they talked about running another tournament, so we about to find out.
I mean, but we get it. Frank is taking Eddie to the cleaners this year, and it ain't good.
But, hey, look, the funny part by him kind of circling his wagons and keeping stuff in house and doing some desperate moves by having his guy, he actually sharpened his guys. You know what I'm saying? He actually sharpened because even the Zhang situation, Zhang got sharpened to get like Joyce, he had beat Takum, he had some very significant wins where it was going to be a situation where he probably could have pressed to get that IBF one. I think it was the IBF or whatever title it was he had been waiting for. But he could have pressed for one of those titles. And then, like I said, but Zhang's in that same stable. I think, don't he have Hergovich too?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He has a stable heavyweight that he sharpened against each other.
Hergovich is on Matchroom.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. But anyway, like I said, he basically almost pulled like some top rank shit, like, where they were trying to weed out some of their heavyweights, and the cream of the crop rose, and it was Dubois. And look what he did. He took care of business. He's the IBF champion. I don't know what, but the problem is there's so many matchups, and to be honest, like when you start, like I said, pick Dubois based on a lot of this being motivation, and this is a career victory that he could get. He's in front of he's in his home. He's in his home getting booed, like, bro, by 90,000 people. Like, get that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even just cheer for. He raised his hand, then it got quiet. It's like, damn.
King,
Give him some love in an announcement or something.
Hey,
you know,
Kings, I've got to tell you something. You'll laugh. You'll laugh. You'll be shocked. When me and my wife are coming out of Wembley, coming down Wembley Way, all you can see is basically, you know, like flags with AJ's face all over it. There was posters all over Wembley Way. You went to the box pot. That's what Dubois had to contend with, and rightly so. AJ's put a lot of, let's just say, AJ is made a lot of people money in this country. He put British boxing on the map. He turned British fights from hall fights into stadium fights. So AJ deserves a lot of credit. But when you look at Daniel Dubois, he's had to contend with that, and he's basically gone there to AJ's hometown, where the only people who wanted Dubois to win was probably Frank Warren and his family.
Yeah,
that's it.
And he's gone there, the biggest underdog ever, the biggest,
and pretty much caused the upset of the decade, probably damn near. So,
but the thing is, a lot of people who know boxing, that's not an upset. There are a lot of people who, you know, within the boxing world, you know, the UK and America, they looked at like the trajectory of both their careers, and they looked at their strengths and weaknesses. And a lot of people before the fight had Dubois winning it, so it's a shock to a lot of people like myself, and a lot of people, you know, British public, but to the boxing experts, that in hindsight's, you know, 2020, but there was a case for Daniel.
They all.
No, I think not all of them. I think a few did.
% out of everyone else that went with Dubois. Literally, Adam Smith went with AJ. Like all of the top. Teddy Atlas went with AJ. Right. Even Sean Xenophobic Porter went with AJ.
Xenophobic
Porter.
Because I'm sick of him. You know, I'm sick of him. I was just watching his thing. You know, his podcast, and he was like, you know, it wasn't. It's not really a big fight, but you know, if you'd have tuned into it, no, it's not.
Wait, what fight was he talking about?
Joshua Dubois.
He said he said that wasn't a big fight.
Coming to America.
Oh my! Here we go, bro.
Why was
he is tripping. He is tripping saying that.
Before Turkey Al Sheikh was making 30 million a fight. We don't need you to come to. We don't need to come to no Las Vegas, America. Anyway, don't need to come to America to. Sure, I tweeted him. I sent him a tweet.
Wow.
So,
I mean, but Chan, at this point, it's been established that America is not the boxing capital of the world anymore. It's not. It's not. It isn't.
So why would we be coming there? You ain't even got none.
AJ's been the highest paid boxer for years.
Highest paid heavyweight. For the
Maybe only Canelo.
Canelo rivals him in terms of, like, you know, purses or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Him and Canelo are the highest paid sportsmen in boxers in boxing today.
That's why. That's why
AJ need America.
They've already protected Anthony Joshua to be en route to becoming a billionaire.
Yeah, Anthony Joshua. That you know, like you guys confirmed
to get knocked out by Bud the other day. Shut up.
Yeah, but you guys have just confirmed, like, you know your title says, should Anthony Joshua retire? Why retire? There's still fights out there for him. He's still got a contract with the Saudis. Why would you retire for?
And you know the damn cheat. Sorry about Sean Porter. DAZN, like, UK book him all the time to come and do punditry work, and then you fuck off and you fly over to your little boring ass podcast. Talk about
with his big ass Windsor knots.
I don't even know boxing. You know how many times I've watched Sean Porter just don't know what he's talking about. You know, when they're talking about the in-depth of boxers. And
Chan, by the way, he was saying, like, he was one of the people saying that no, he has to come to America. He was one of the people saying that too.
That's why I call him not Showtime Porter. He's xenophobic. You don't care. Like, we don't have to anyway. Don't have to go to America. He sells out the what is it, the Skydrome or whatever in Japan.
He sells out every time, doesn't he?
Every time he fights there.
He probably makes huge money. He's look, first of all, like I said, I don't, dudes like Sean Porter don't, they're like this. They're like these leftover kids that are still thinking about the good old days. You know, he's like old man on the porch. Get out my lawn. Get out my lawn. He's that type of dude because there's nobody that understands boxing can say that the U.S. has been the center of any boxing period. I can't even name if I try to think. And we got the few we got are about to retire. Bud Crawford about to retire. Canelo is from Mexico. Let's keep it real. He's a Mexican just because he fight here all the time.
He's a Mexican national though. He's not American.
National. So it's like so let's run down the divisions. So I'm just gonna skip all the way past heavyweight and 175. Then maybe I can name. Oh, there's nobody at 168 either. Let me just
Payday. You want payday? I know that.
Yeah, 160, 154. There we go. Now I can finally name a name, Bud Crawford. After that, let's keep going down a little bit forward. Let's see like a national level boxer we have. That's why you still got fucking Jake. Our best fighter is Jake fucking Paul. There you go. I'm keeping it real because
Get the fuck out of here, man. It's my night.
yeah, I'm keeping it real because I've been watching boxing for a long time, seeing the demise of American boxing, even to the point that we don't even have the gym structure. I promise you in the UK, there's probably barely a corner I can't go to and there ain't no damn boxing gym. It used to be like that here. It's not. We don't have no tough Philly fighters for real. We don't have no tough Detroit fighters no more.
And Anthony Joshua actually took money out of his own pocket for lockdown to actually fund gyms to stay open, the amateur gyms, so that the kids could still train.
Yeah, they let a lot of ours close. We don't even have that structure here anymore.
But Chan, to piggyback on what you were saying, on what you said about how people were predicting Dubois to win. I think that most of the people who were, they either were Dubois fanboys, because I knew a couple myself, especially one who was, and that's the only reason why he picked Dubois to win his last two fights.
Yeah, I know a couple.
Or that they just hated AJ for whatever reason. That's the only reason why they picked Dubois, probably.
Dubois got fanboys?
Yeah, I know one. I
explain why.
You don't even got to say his name. I already know.
You already know what I'm talking about? Chan, you know what I'm talking about?
No, he's a fanboy.
When did that happen?
He wants to be adopted by that whole family. He does.
Oh, okay.
Chan, you know what I'm talking about? You know.
I do know you. I know what I'm talking about. You're the one that gets on my damn nerves. Yeah.
You gotta start asking yourself why you listen to somebody like that.
He said, "I've got fanboys."
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, I picked him on a strategic whim. Not fucking this. I'm gonna be honest with Dubois.
Now he has.
Yeah, I probably seen Dubois like a whole fight with Dubois maybe like 3 or 4 times. Like, so I picked him on whim, just like strategically. I sized up some things and picked him. It's not like so, to be honest, if there was a couple of changes, it could have easily gone away. It's like literally, I know it turned out to be a wipeout, but it was a 50-50 fight. It just didn't go. But sometimes it happens that way. Sometimes you might have all the artillery, all the skills in the world. It's not your night. It's not your, what I'm saying? Some Canelo shit, get out, it's my night. Some shit like that.
It's not my night. Like,
for real though. So I mean, I don't know, but like I said, y'all gotta stop. Well, I mean, do what y'all do, but when people make picks like that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, it's stupid.
But hey, Gredex, could I ask you a question? Are you there?
Yeah.
Gredex, you here?
2 minutes.
Hello.
Hey, Gredex, question for you. Were you like most of us and picked AJ to win? I was just curious.
I picked AJ to win. Yeah.
Okay, for sure. Just making sure. Because I don't think I heard you. I don't think I heard you pick.
I'm an AJ fan. I
figured.
I just blame his trainer a lot more than you guys. We just disagree on that. That's
all good.
I mean,
AJ.
So, sorry, did you get to the point where let's say, so Kenny Ken, do you think AJ, let me start. I don't think AJ should retire. I did do a knee-jerk reaction on the live night. I was like, no, just fucking retire, fuck it. If he doesn't beat Daniel Dubois in the rematch, but now, so it's not an absolute rematch cause. He's just got a fight, one more fight that he has to do on Riyadh season, Anthony Joshua, and it could entail Daniel Dubois rematch if Bricktop wants to do it. Daniel Dubois can turn around and quite rightly say, I go, nah, I'm not interested. But it'd probably be in his best interest because you know the money he'll make off a second AJ fight.
Mm.
You know, like Ruiz, isn't it? You know, Daniel Dubois is already rich now.
And then Daniel would be the A side going into that.
Yeah. Then he's going to be the A side going into the fight. I mean, it would make sense. But if he doesn't, cool. So then AJ's got to find this other route, whatever the weather.
There's fights out there for AJ. You know,
there's Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury's still out there. Tyson Fury's still out there.
Yeah. I mean,
you know, let's not forget.
It don't really matter.
You know what I think? You know what I think they should do? I was talking about this to a friend of mine. I said for the Fury Usyk rematch, put Wilder and Joshua as the co-main on that same card. What do y'all think?
Fury and two?
Fury Usyk, the rematch on the co-main, put Wilder and versus Joshua for the co-main for that. What do y'all think?
That's kind of more of a start.
Wild's another fight.
I mean, if people still want to see that fight, though, you know, just
Wild's
like
got
that.
another fight with the Arab.
Left.
Yeah, but Wilder's got a contract to fight another fight with the Saudis as well. So
then if he wants to do an AJ,
does he? Oh, he does. Okay,
he does. Both of them have contracted the fight on with the Turkey Al Sheikh. So it makes sense.
Yeah,
because Fury's tied up with the Usyk rematch.
I've heard Malik Scott say Wilder's not retiring. I haven't heard anything from Wilder. So until I hear anything from Wilder, I don't know. So we can't base our, Wilder, and Wilder might not say anything. Wilder might retire. So,
if the money that's an offer, why would he turn it down? If the money's an offer, he'll fight.
Yeah, he said. I heard him the other day talking. He didn't say anything about retiring, and I don't know what the obligation is of like, what if they have to do that. But that would be cool. You put them all on 4, and then maybe the 2 winners fight each other. Like, you know,
do it like that because like Fury's tied into the Usyk rematch. So I'm just saying. So if people still want to see that, Wilder Joshua fight, I kind of don't, but I still watch it if it happened. I mean, just put that as the co-main, as a bonus, on that card. That's all.
Yeah, I guess.
And whoever wins, whoever loses, I guess retires, I suppose. And whoever wins, they see what they can do next.
Yeah. And then you got Daniel Dubois doing his own thing. I don't know, fighting the winner of Fury Usyk.
Yeah, I mean, but
whoever wins out of, and then because Joshua's always going to have dibs to fight Fury.
Yeah.
Like he said, if Fury beats Usyk, Fury may pick to do a title defense with Anthony Joshua. But listen, Joshua and Fury are going to fight because it's either that they're going to say it's either if Usyk beats Fury and Joshua fight for the UK is still viable.
I agree with that.
That's why I think Fury was so disappointed. I think that was going to be the next fight.
I don't know why he's so disappointed because it still sells out when it can still happen. It can still happen.
Yeah. Plus, he's still got to fight Usyk anyway.
If he loses.
Yeah, and if Fury beats Usyk,
he's not going to beat Usyk.
Anthony Joshua is his title defense. So I say all roads are leading to Fury Joshua anyway. Do you know what I mean? You've got that.
Yeah. When he loses to Usyk.
If he loses to Usyk again, they can still fight. I mean, next they could fight. They could. I mean, without a belt, it doesn't matter. It's still a big fight. I mean, Kell Brook and Amir Khan fought with no belt at the end of the year, pretty much. So yeah,
it's like AJ and Fury.
Regardless if they lose, they still both have their rival factions.
They do.
They're still going to pay to watch that. So I mean, because they're still going to be like you said, that damn Amir Khan and
Kell Brook fight that dragged off for years.
So that shit, the intensity of that fight and the weight of that, like it was like, damn, y'all been mad for 20 years. Like it was like crazy.
You lot's been mad your whole career, and only taken 20 years.
Yeah, but see, both those guys got battered by Terence Crawford, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yep, they did. They sure did.
Yeah.
I know I'm a traitor. Leave me alone.
But as far as going forward for AJ, as far as he should retire, I don't think he should retire just yet. Ultimately, like I said, it's like people want to be so like really judgmental with it, like, oh, he should really quit. Okay, well that's his decision to make. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He may not like it. I mean, but it's up to him. The choice is his. But
He's
the decision
saying
is
the milk sheets ain't bothering him and deterring him from getting out of bed. We see him live a good life. We
Yeah.
see him good outside the ring. I mean,
because if history has shown us anything, it's like every time he's lost, he's ran it back. So, okay, so if you have a rematch with Dubois and you lose again, then maybe it's time to consider it. I don't know. I mean, but
if you do run it back with Dubois, then you lose.
Yeah.
Then like they consider it. I ain't got time to tell. Like, if you lot like it, I love it. Wilder, if you want to come back
and get knocked out again. Go right ahead. Like,
it's boxing. If you lot want to get knocked out, you lot get knocked out. We'll see you. Don't come back in half-hearted. It's either you're in or you're out.
Or you're not. It's like don't, and because even with Wilder's last 2 fights, it's like he was there, but he wasn't fully. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying, because this is
and honestly the same with AJ. Now it's like he was there, but he wasn't.
Yeah. So you lot either in or you're out. Do you know what I mean? Canelo's got loads of money. As much as he gets on my nerves, he doesn't let the money say, "Well, I'm not gonna." Well, he's still dedicated to fighting.
He still got his eye on the ball. He's fighting easy opposition now. So yeah.
Cherry picks nonetheless.
He's fighting guys who don't stand no chance of beating him.
He don't never he cherry picks, but he doesn't pull like a Fury and Gano, let somebody he should wipe out get in the fight. Like he wipes out dudes. Like you can't never say like I hate how he picks fights, but he don't allow it.
At least he's dominate these guys.
At least he got like bro, if I won't fight C-level fighters, I won't make them bitches look like C-level fighters to extent. So, but that's like you said, it's the professionalism, and that's the thing that matters a lot. Like you said, I think like this: if I don't think AJ should retire off this fight, if he has this one like farewell knockout fight against somebody and goes off into the sun, like I don't think you want to go out on this kind of note. I mean, I don't give a fuck who you bring in there. Bring in somebody like and go ahead. Hey,
I think he's gonna want Dubois first before. I think they're gonna make it so.
Yeah.
I mean, but this is funny because like heavyweight boxing is so complex because like I'm sure everybody's going crazy over Dubois now, but like he could easily lose his next fight to somebody else.
If he's anything like me and how we are here, we won't sleep until we do the rematch. I don't give a fuck I don't give a fuck if I get stopped, whatever. I'm doing that rematch. I am doing it.
Well, speaking of that, then how does he win the rematch? What's your thoughts on that?
Huh?
What's your thoughts on how AJ wins a rematch against Dubois?
Because everything is actually.
No, I'm saying how does he do it? Break it down.
Yeah,
same as Ruiz fight.
The same as Ruiz. Yeah.
I think he could just box his head off.
Just gonna have to circle him and spin Daniel.
Because what I thought how the fight this fight would go. I thought that I knew Daniel was gonna come out fast like a bat out of hell. But I thought that AJ would be cautious enough and technical enough to catch him with a good counter and maybe put him in his cage. Then once that happened, I mean then AJ would slow the fight down to his pace. Break him down, chip him away until he stopped him. But this time, Daniel cracked him with a good shot at the end of the first, and that's what pretty much derailed everything.
Keep getting cracked in first rounders, and your fights. This is
it's like every shot Daniel hit him with, AJ was hurt by. You can see it. You know what I mean?
It's regression, yeah.
So
what I'm saying is, we're saying it like it sounds easy. You just do it how he did Ruiz. Well, the January Dubois is not Ruiz. Like Edward said, he closes distance mad quick. He's 27 years old. He throws punches in bunches. He's got hella power. But I still think it's a winnable rematch. But AJ has to be switched on, and he is overall the better boxer than Daniel Dubois.
He is.
And we all know, if we didn't think it was winnable, like how, the Usyk was like, you have to adapt some attributes that we've never seen in your arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Things that you need to beat Daniel Dubois, we've seen them even when you're not even when you're being the lackluster AJ, you've had those fundamentals.
Yes.
That's why I know it's winnable for him. But you got to get Daniel while Daniel's growing. You don't try to do this rematch a year, 2 years later.
Because he's probably going to get better and more develop even further. And you're probably going to be on the slide.
He already is. He's even better. Like he has subtle movement, the way he was moving himself into position. Like there was a point where AJ threw a punch, and normally old Dubois would wildly through the left hook. Instead of doing that, he stepped to the right, got into perfect range and threw it. And it was like, I was like, oh shit, that's beautiful. Like to the point, even his defensively, we know like he can get caught with a right hand, but he kept his hands up, and because he was moving, so like he decided like, look, it's either all offense. I don't care if I'm shooting offense, I can't get hit, and that's literally what he was thinking.
Anthony Joshua used to be, and you're going to see Daniel Dubois probably change as time goes by, as he gets more. Because what's happened with Anthony Joshua is that he's realized he's got everything to lose and not much to gain.
Yeah.
So he wants to leave with his health. Whereas when he first came in,
so you're saying his hunger is dissipated a bit?
No, it's ignorance was bliss when he came in. He didn't. Yeah. That's just like when I first started doing this boxing channel or YouTube. You come in as a novice of kind of like the things that you're not privy to in the boxing business. Your ignorance is bliss. As soon as you start finding out certain stuff behind the scenes, it dampens you a bit when you know too much. When you know a bit and you're like, oh God, I just liked it when I just used to turn on a fight and was like, yay, ooh, ah. And now it's like, purse bids, this one side of the street, this one said this to me off record, can't say that. Do you understand? When you know too much, it actually takes away a lot of the fun. So what I'm saying,
because now, like I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because before, like when you're a casual, it's
when
like,
you know something, you just go in guns blazing, and now Anthony Joshua knows too much. He's second guessing, second thinking. Oh, I need to leave with my faculties. And another thing that I have is I was thinking to myself, this is a theory of mine, is that it came out recently on record. Floyd Mayweather, he's having memory problems, right? He has memory problems, and he says, and he's one of the most defensively sound fighters.
Oh wow, is he really?
Right? Yeah. Then it came out last week. Chris Eubank Jr. He's having memory loss problems as well. He's saying,
oh.
Right? I'm thinking, how do we know that Anthony Joshua behind the scenes, he's suffering with memory lapses? So now when he goes into the ring, that's why he's so scared of getting hit, because he's thinking, I'm sustaining more damage. Do you understand what I'm saying?
He's got a form of PTSD, something like that? Or
no, listen it. What I'm saying is,
if he was scared,
memory loss in his day-to-day life, he's noticing that he's got memory deterioration, right? And then you're going to go into the ring not wanting to get any more damage on top of that, because you're already living day-to-day life thinking, rah, my memory ain't as good. So you don't want to get hit. So therefore you're reacting all tentative. What I'm saying is all the boxers that I speak to, every single one, when I book them to come on the show, when they all say, some boxers, and I won't say who it is, some boxers, if they're on my show, if I book them in 7 days in advance, I've got to do daily reminders, counting it down.
Okay, I see what you mean.
To remember that they're coming on the show.
Right.
There's some boxers I got to do a couple of days before to remind. And they all tell me, my memory's trash. You got hit in the head a lot. Every single boxer's told me that. So what I'm saying is, how do we not know that?
Yeah.
Chris Eubank Jr., who we've never seen really sustain a lot of damage, is having memory problems. And even though Pretty Boy Floyd was the banger, he weren't a guy that sustained a lot of damage either. And he's having memory problems. And his dad, as you know, has got like dementia. So what I'm saying is, how do we not know that after maybe Klitschko or after Ruiz, and there's been some memory damage, do you understand? That's made him second guess himself and not want to get hit anymore. Because in recent interviews, he does keep saying, oh, you know, I want to be able to get out the game with my health. He's been saying that up until the couple of days just before he's fought. So I'm just trying to put 2 and 2 together. I could be quite off the mark, but it was that came.
You might be onto something. I see what you're saying. I do. I get it now.
If that's the case,
There you
though, one, he has to seriously consider if he should continue fighting. Is another 100 million worth it? Probably not. And secondly, why don't you put your fucking hands up then and not walk forward with your chin in the air? If I was suffering from memory problems, I'd be the most defensive fighter I could. Do you know what I mean?
True. Yeah, I might be wrong, but it might not even be all logical. He might not be moving logical. I don't know.
Maybe
It's
not.
like, just don't have a clue. I just thought that because when I heard Chris Eubank Jr. come out the other couple of days ago and say he's having memory.
That's weird.
I don't know.
So what did that? The latest knockout? Did that do that then, or what?
He hasn't. No, I don't think he pinned it down to that specific incident. I think he's
Liam Smith hits hard.
But is he one of them type of dudes? You know, the thing about it, like for Floyd, that would have contributed to it, and this is similar to James Toney. James Toney's brain damage wasn't from the ring; it's from their fucking sparring.
Yeah,
they don't use headgear.
Yeah, it could be that
and
as
they
well.
go mental in the sparring.
Yeah, so they like James Toney.
He was always having
sparring. He took was in sparring, and then
he was always having sparring wars in the wild card gym. He was.
Yeah, he's similar with Floyd. They have sparring, and that's where you always hear about the stories of where because he's refining, so he probably doing different things where he would get caught more often. And like I said, even then you're still looking at it as practice, but they practice without headgear. They even call the thing in front the bitch bar. So these fools is get taking a lot of damage. If he spars away, like he said, he spars 17, 18 rounds against different opponents coming in. Well, each one of them opponents is throwing fresh blows at his head. So even if they're only landing a few of them, but he's going to get hit more because he's allowing more to go on. Like, that's what wears that shit out. Like I said, James Toney, man, I'm like, he won my, but I can't, it hurts me to see him talk. Like, it's like, bro, man. Like,
we was literally talking about that last week. You can't understand the man at all. Barely.
It's bad. It's real bad. So
that's all I thought. Maybe it could be things like that. Why he's just second guessing? Because did you guys see the? Because I thought he came in all confident, right? But then there was let me just quickly. There was a shot here where
he slipped coming out, where he tripped. Was that it? Or no? Okay.
Whoa, something's happened to your sound.
Is she switching over to a video? It does that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I was just like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hang on. So,
see you again.
Hold up. And then I'll present, share screen. Have a look at this and tell me what you think. Just tune in on Joshua.
For Master Boxing in partnership with Gold Star Promotions and Stella. Sponsored by Visit Saudi, Suleiman Al Habib Hospital, Saudi Airlines, Red Sea Global, Garina, and Middle East. This contest sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control.
He looks pretty scared there.
Does that
Yeah,
look
it's visible now. It's visible
Does
now.
that look normal?
It's visible
No.
now. It is. You
I
can tell.
got that. This is where I got to watching the fight, and that's why I think I didn't watch any further because I got
How
to
did I not notice that before? That's crazy.
I didn't know because we're recording live. We're
To be
doing
fair, I
live.
was watching Dubois walk
Yeah,
up
yeah,
and
yeah,
down.
yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
oh
looks
shit.
like but AJ's
Just staring off into the distance, looking like
It's like he's
about
just
to get
staring into
wrecked.
space, like he's got that frozen look.
No, but he was
Yeah.
doing that when he was walking in. If you look at the part after that, when he takes his shirt off and he was about to take it off and then he put it back
Yeah, he
on.
puts it back on.
I
Doesn't
was
he?
looking at
That's
him.
weird.
I was like, okay. I was like, he's warmed up. You know, he got sweat and everything. He's warmed up, and he takes it off, and then he goes to put it back on, and then he kind of like he did the little It was kind of weird. He did like a little nervous, like a little jump thing. But I'm like, he does. I'm assuming he does that before fights.
He does a jump. He usually is fluid. He's like
yeah.
that.
So he was doing a little moving around, and then like I said, he went to take it off, but then I don't know why I think he left it on. I thought he left it on because he was trying to show, it had the.
No. He's never keeping on his dressing gown and just. I didn't notice it on the night until I watched. I was like, oh, nah. Said it to the group. I was like, guys, does this look normal? What's up? I don't know. To me, that just didn't look normal because everyone was going, oh, it's ring walk. And I remember calling it the fight. And I was like, ring walk, he looked confident and da-da-da-da. I didn't see anything wrong within the ring walk. I see all the boxing pundits and talk sport all saying, oh, from the ring walk, we noticed something. I didn't. But
yeah, I didn't notice anything.
That clip, was
he looking up at something? Is there something up there in the ring we're not aware of? Like, Kenny, is there something like a screen or something up above them? Like, could he been looking up something?
It's not a conspiracy, Al. It's just an observation that I've looked at.
Yeah, that's all.
Like,
so
why does the dude look like that? That's not how he looks. Like, he doesn't look like he's having low amounts of fun. Al.
I think the ring walks, AJ's ring walk, where we were, the ring walk was right next to us, and it was like an event in itself. Mm-hmm. But we could only see the back of AJ, so we looked up the screen and saw his face.
Yeah,
I didn't notice it myself. My wife's the one who noticed it, so I'll speak to her more. But she said, "Nah, something's not right here. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look himself." And because I was looking at the boy, and I said to my wife, I said, "Look, this guy's way too pumped. He's got this." Like when Frank Bruno came out before he fought Mike Tyson, he was so pumped, banging. I thought that was a sign of fear. But with Daniel Dubois, it was like he was so pumped. I was thinking, mate, if you're pumped like this, you got to make sure you take this guy out quickly, man.
Yeah, and he got to the venue late when he never does. He just got to the venue. That's why we was like, why is he only wrapping his hands now? Do you remember? I was like, this is dragging. Yeah, because he got to the venue all late. I was just like...
That's uncharacteristic of him.
Is there something that we're not privy to that we didn't know that there was something that just went... that they was dealing with?
What do you think happened? Do you think he was shitting himself? Or what's the theory? He's never late.
Why would it be shitting yourself?
Yeah, I don't know. But he's never late, is he? So I don't...
There was more problems with Dubois camp. That Spencer Fear and spreading rumours like.
It's not about. Hang on, sorry. Sorry, you've got 6 o'clock shenanigans saying don't.
I just saw that. I'm blocking this guy.
Yeah, it's not about. We're not saying this. We're saying is this guy just looked weird. So we don't understand why he looked so on edge in the fucking fight. Why he had no fundamental. We don't know because he just.
No, but Spencer Fearon. He was saying that John Charles got the sack when John Charles had a cold, and then there was rumors that Daniel Dubois hurt his right hand, and that.
Not true.
Looked fine to me.
I heard the rumors that Daniel Dubois when he released his right hand. So out of all the turmoil, there was no turmoil that we knew of in our ages camp. We're hearing more turmoil in the Dubois camp.
Yeah. I heard Dubois had a hand injury. I'm not sure how true that is, but I did hear that. Going into this fight, he had a hand injury.
Oh, really?
Even more impressive.
Oh, well, even more credit to him then.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Shit, he wasn't throwing that motherfucker like it was hurt.
Yeah, damn, man.
He must have decided to say fuck it.
Yeah, I don't know how true it is, but that's what I heard.
I think a lot of stuff is like if you look at the interactions before the fight, like there's a part where like him and AJ are having a talk, and AJ brings up like because they're always bringing up the sparring, and then Daniel Dubois' response was like, "Oh man, it's over with. We about to fight. Who cares about sparring? Like we about to none of that matters anymore. We about to figure it out." And but the way he said it was like I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired. Like he really looked like I'm tired of this shit. Let's get this. The let's go was serious. Like he really was thinking, I'm ready to go. I'm tired of this shit. Let's get it done. I got to hear in the gym. I probably for years been, you know, I knew what fucking Frank Warren was doing with me. I know all this shit. Like, bro, like he came in locked in. Like I said, motivation matters. If he loses today, everybody, especially if he loses terribly, he gives up in some shit like that. He was able to make it. Look, Daniel Dubois, low key. Let's be real. Probably really doesn't have to. If he just lives off this night for a while, he's now being able to get rid of these older fighters. A lot of older fighters that are contenders, 35 plus. He has the opportunity to reign for a little bit.
The whole crap is on the way out. They are.
Yeah, so there's a new series of guys. He's roused through it, like, but I don't even know some of the younger dudes. Like I hear about what is it, Coley or somebody? They keep mentioning him.
McCauley. Yeah, but Mark McCauley.
Yeah, so they're mentioning him and stuff, and they're mentioning a couple other guys that are still like in the hunt of doing things. You know, Zhang is still there because he hasn't took a lot of damage. Yeah, you know, you got dudes, but even then, Zhang's 40-some years old. How much time does he really have?
Still a threat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if he goes into the fights with those guys like immediately, even if he takes some losses in there, he's still young enough to, like, you could be talking about him being a couple-time champion if he loses, you know. So it's a lot for him there still. He's 20. Like, it's like it always trips me out when he's 27, just turned 27.
That's why if he did have an injured hand, you know what? When you're young, you can do stuff like that and get away with it.
Yeah, he'll go home and deal with it later. That's what I'm saying.
You can do shit like that, and because I know none of these fighters come in 100%. So I actually believe he did have a hand injury because it came from a couple credible. I was like, damn.
Well, and he still knocked him out. Christ.
I wonder which hand. I wonder which hand it was.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. But yeah. I'm saying. I mean, I wonder if it was the hand he knocked AJ out with.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't know, AJ. We don't know what happened, but you're gonna have to, you know.
Yeah, man. Back on the comeback. On the comeback trail now. You know.
The comeback trail.
Hey,
we'll catch you on the flip side, my guy.
He's only 34. He's only 34.
35. He's 35.
35 in like a month or two, I think.
Yeah, not.
Klitschko was at 40 though, wasn't he? And he was still fighting for titles.
And he ain't been in like loads of wars, and he treats his body well. So you know, he's like a Bud Crawford. They're similar, aren't they?
Yeah, always keep in shape. You know, don't mess around. So.
Yeah. But
I think British boxing. If we were to lose AJ, I don't think British boxing, in terms of like the benefit for the fighters, the fact that we're getting like big fights. AJ's going to be a very hard act to follow.
Well, I mean, with Dubois' defeat of AJ, this has raised his stock significantly. You think he might take over now if he keeps winning?
Yeah,
he won't have that casual crossover that you need in boxing.
Maybe not.
I think the biggest thing is that he built it from the amateurs. That, like, people don't realize how important that is. When you build when a guy comes from the amateur, he gets a gold medal. Like, those fans, for some reason, think about Golden Boy. Floyd didn't win his, but that's where, his family lineage. Like, when you build those fighters from the amateur and people are invested, you got people that learn who Anthony Joshua were like the same age as him. So it's like you growing up on somebody. You're watching the Olympics. Like, I was looking this year during Olympics trying to find that person. There wasn't one. There isn't a person.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like that type of build. Think about everybody that you guys think of that has huge following at their, like, well, it's not a lot of them, but who've had huge following. Like, say, they've always been some kind of Olympic standards, wherever, but some kind of gold medal, a silver, something where they stood out. Even if you got robbed, like Floyd got robbed, didn't matter. Everybody knew he was the man.
Roy Jones got robbed. Everybody knew he's the man.
Yeah, exactly.
You talk about Seoul, the 1988 Olympics when he lost that career.
Oh yeah, man.
That was sad but funny.
Why was that funny?
The reason why I say it was funny is because when I was watching it live, I was thinking, Roy Jones. Roy Jones has got this. All 5 judges are going to go for Roy Jones.
And then they didn't. Yeah.
And then when I looked at what happened, I went, "No, this has got to be a joke." And I laughed. I was laughing at the time.
Okay, that's why you found it funny.
The scores were messed up.
I said, this can't be happening in the 20th century that people could cheat like that. And then it happened. Yeah. I couldn't believe that they did that to him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to wrap up the show. I want last thoughts from Kenny Ken, KOK, AJ All Day, Gredax, and we will leave the building.
Well, my thoughts are, I was emotional when I did my Instagram report where I was calling AJ retire. But the thing about a good night's sleep is the best tonic, especially when you come out of emotional statements.
Amen to that.
And because now I'm looking at the situation, and I generally think that there's still mileage in the clock for AJ. I still think the fights are out there, but AJ, one thing I'll know is AJ will never make those mistakes again. Desire's there because I still think he wants to be a world champion, but he needs to get a bloody move on. Fighting the big fights, win those big fights, and never ever go into a fight like this again. Overconfident and believing your own, thinking that it's going to be an easy day at the office. Respect your opponent. And respect the fact that he's got that belt and he earned it the hard way, just like you did when you won your titles. And I think AJ's got to go. There's still money to be made. I just think British boxing will be. It's a sad day for British boxing when AJ eventually retires, because I don't think it'll recover, because I don't see the personalities coming behind AJ to give us these stadium fights, the pay-per-views. Who's out there?
They said it on TalkSport. They said he's a sheer anomaly. There's like, someone asked, do you think Daniel? A caller said, do you think Daniel Dubois can take the place of it? And they all said no.
And hasn't got the star power. He hasn't got the fan base.
Yeah,
he hasn't got the fan base.
It's just it's not even about. They said, could he build that? And it was just like all of them across the board said, no. There's just something special about Anthony Joshua and Michael Buffer. Just watched his interview before I came on for about 4 minutes. He had a little 4-minute interview. He said, when AJ goes, he said, I love calling AJ. I love announcing AJ fights.
Hey.
He said
say that to the British say that to the British public out there who call him a racist because of what he was supposed to have said during lockdown. Say that to the British public that always say, "Oh, he was never that great."
Michael Buffer said it. Not going to get another AJ.
Trust me, they'll be crying. They'll be crying because at the end of the day, they think Tyson Fury is that man.
We got
nothing coming.
He's done so much, and we have these big nights where you see all the lights going and all that.
Tyson Fury would never had these big nights without AJ. Tyson Fury would never had big money.
Black British boys and black Brits to show that you can come from nothing and do all of this and be just hard work and dedication. As black British people, it's very inspirational. That's all I'm saying. So
and he was successful as well, and he's won 2 titles. It's not as if he was like Chris Eubank Jr. and never won a world title.
Yeah. So but okay. Thanks for joining us, Kenny Ken. I'm so glad to have you back, and I'll see you next week. Same
Later,
time.
Ken. Glad you're back too, man.
I was glad to be back.
Yeah,
what was that? I've got to keep you abreast because
if next week's a go or not, just keep me.
Because still
bits and pieces going down.
Obviously, we're not going to go. I don't want to put
Yeah.
You guys know that what happened. I think King thinks AJ all day, and you've told them what happened. So it's still like.
Just let me know what you can do and what you can't do.
Yes, definitely. All right. But I enjoyed this anyway. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologise that I wish we were discussing an AJ performance that we'll talk about for years to come, but we didn't. It's a loss.
That's heavyweight boxing for you.
That's heavyweight boxing.
Unfortunately so. Heavyweight boxing is
still a lot of excitement.
18 stone men catch you on that chin. I'm sorry, you're going to be asleep.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's why we love it.
All right, I'll see you soon.
See you later, Kenny Ken.
Salute, Ken.
Salute.
Kenny Ken is left the building.
Right, who's next to go? Gredax, because I know you've got to get to your bed as well, because it's UK and everybody,
Yes.
So Gredax, thank you for joining me. Last false words.
Sure. I don't think he should retire. I never did. I think he's got like 4 or 5 fights easily that could sell 100k tickets. Wilder, another Dubois fight, a Fury fight, etc. He's got plenty more money to make if he wants to make it, / is well enough to make it. So I don't see why he should retire. I'm still watching Chisora and he's got 15 losses. I'll still watch AJ. I don't care about the wins or losses. I just want to be entertained, and he entertained me. I think the Dubois fight is winnable if he boxes him like Joyce boxes him, or like he boxed Ruiz. Just box him like you would like in the Olympics. Just box his head off. I think box size Ben, he's garbage. He needs replacing. He told AJ to roll the dice just before he went out for the last round and got KO'd. He should have told him box safely for 2 rounds and get your legs back. But whatever, we can agree to disagree on that. I know you have a different opinion. Thanks for having me. Have a good night.
You're always welcome, love. Thank you very much for coming.
Let it great X.
Good night. Bye.
Good night, love. See ya.
Great X has left the Buddhism.
KOK, and then there were 3. Last thoughts, and thank you for joining me.
Hey man, I just want to say blessings to Kenny and his family, man. It was good seeing you, brother. That golden smile, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, I guess I'm gonna kind of leave on like a boxing generational type of thing. It's kind of weird. We're like at a place where a lot of the guys that we've enjoyed for like the last 10 years are slowly exiting. You know, even the Bivol Beterbiev fight, Beterbiev is going to be leaving soon. You got Crawford going to be leaving soon. I guess Canelo eventually, maybe. So, we got a lot of these. It's like the whole thing that we were invested in all these years is coming to an end. And it's almost like some of the excitement of boxing is going to be lost with this night. AJ losing was, regardless of where you're from, you can't not deny a 96,000 stadium full of people. Yeah, 98,000 people going buck wild for boxing. I was literally like, man, like Kenny said, I wish I would have been there. The shit was amazing. But we're literally, like I said, like we could be 20 years off seeing something like that again. That's how crazy it is, because we go through the names. They're all nice because we're hardcores, but they're having trouble bringing 5,000-10,000 to a place. And it just is what it is. If it wasn't for AJ, they wouldn't be saying. Thank you for Turkey, and thank you for Turkey for cleaning some of this shit up and bringing life back into boxing. But it's kind of sad because, like I say, you can kind of see that the torch getting passed more like it's just dimmering a little bit, and they're handing them some matches.
But yeah.
So, but I enjoyed the fight. Dubois, you know what I'm saying? I rolled the dice on him and came on top. But, shout out to the panel. I'm out.
Oh, wait, okay. Can you leave a link to your channel? Because I'm trying to actually find it, because I just wanted to check out some of your content.
Okay, cool. I got you, bud.
Leave it in the chat. You can leave links in the chat, or the back chat, or the front chat.
Yeah. If you don't mind.
Yeah, I got you.
For sure. All right, okay, man.
King of King has left the Buddhism.
Okay, then there were 2. AJ all day. Thank you for joining me as usual.
Then there were 2.
Darling. And I had so much fun. So glad Kenny Ken was back in the Buddhism for.
Likewise. Salute to him.
We love Kenny Ken. Any last thoughts? We do have 47% saying AJ shouldn't retire, and another 47 still saying, why is it 47 and a 47?
Oh wow. I was tied. Wow.
It's tied so far.
Okay, good.
47 no, 47 yiggity yes. So yeah. But go ahead. Any last finite words?
Last finite words. Just first and foremost, props to Dubois. Proved me wrong again for the 3rd time. I'm not gonna underestimate him now. I'm gonna be more circumspect. So props to him, especially if he pulled this off with a broken hand. Did what he had to do. Ragdolled AJ, got the win, and especially almost probably being slept himself. So that was even more credible. Yeah. But as far as AJ goes, I don't think he should retire just yet. Just bad night at the office. I guess you could chalk it down to that. Everybody has one, but this might have been more than that, as I was saying. Something else might have been going on. Who knows? But either way, props to him holding his head up in defeat. Showing class as always. Being a true sportsman. Yeah. But there's still a lot of big fights out there for him. I don't think he's done just yet.
Yeah.
I mean, because I say like you probably should start thinking about that when you're coming off consecutive losses.
Yeah.
I mean, and just this is just one loss out of like 4 prior wins. So
But
yeah,
if you're gonna have more losses like that, back
Yeah.
to it, mollywopped,
yeah,
mollywop, stop,
yeah.
knocked
I
out.
mean, but that's the thing, Chad. Everybody's reactionary. It's like a fighter loses in this. Oh, he should hang up or retire. It's like everything they've done before is just forgotten about like right away.
Yeah, we're reactionary.
I mean, like I'm not. We're not the biggest Wilder fan, but like I wouldn't mind seeing him fight again. To be honest, I mean, like I don't really care. So I mean, I say if he probably loses again, then maybe you should think about it. But even though he's coming off 2 consecutive losses and last the knockout defeat, like, hey, if he had a fight next that was against an intriguing opponent, I'd still watch it.
Yeah, we're still gonna watch it. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's all good.
Yeah. So but yeah, a lot of fights you can have. Shake off the cobwebs, go back to reassess, see what you did wrong, and really question your heart and your desire of like this is what you still want to do.
Yeah.
Because part of me is just wondering, is the hunger? I mean, I know you got the passion and the determination to be with Chad, but is the hunger still there? Is the fire still there? And if it's not, then you got to light that fire again. You know what I mean?
Or you leave. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you bow out gracefully.
Yeah. Well, thank you, AJ, all day. Love you. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
Love you more. Catch y'all later.
Okay, bye.
AJ's left the Buddhism.
So now I'm just going to do the members only roll call. And, and that would be it. That would be it. That will be it. That will be it. So, let's pull that up. Sorry, peoples. Okay, so the members only roll call is, and I checked my sound on my on playback. So thank the Lord, I've fixed the issue. The audio issue that I was having, I didn't realize until after. Okay, members only. Shouts out to my gorgeous girl Adrian Nicole in the Buddhism, Zyrax in the Buddhism, King Boxing. Thank you, Lady Chan, for being on the panel in the Buddhism, Strangeless in the Buddhism, Zara K in the Buddhism, Boxing God 7 in the Buddhism, TNBN in the Buddhism, Nino Nation in the Buddhism, Daniel Agnew in the Buddhism, Chino Figueroa in the Buddhism, Modern King Boxing in the Buddhism, Antes in the Buddhism, Leon Figures in the Buddhism, Matt G in the Buddhism, Don't Touch a Bomb in the Buddhism, Stephen T in the Buddhism, my sister that never fails, the Queen Lisa Bales in the Buddhism, Nestor Bedford in the Buddhism. What up, man? What up, gangster? Retro Boxing and Documentaries in the Buddhism. Han Shawnery in the Buddhism. Harlem's Finest, Art of Let in the Buddhism. D-Star Boxing, mi hermano también in the Buddhism. AJ all day, thank you for being on panel in the Buddhism. Upload top del primero en el edificio. Ya te sabes. And last but not least, Wales' Finest, Dr. P. Thank you for joining me in the Buddhism. So, I'm here to tell the truth, the whole truth, none but the goddamn truth. So help me, God. You know what I am. Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Truth is only obtained by knowledge, and knowledge is what? Knowledge is key. That's right, so it for Guan, and I say it for Guan.
So if it Guan, not bad see nothing because nothing not got Guan. Lock off your eyes, cock, me make you cough.
Them the light, we win a light. Damn.
Them not like me, some not like them. Man, I figure set this straight and clarify. Put fire upon a pagan, aim for the cranium. Turn off the news, there's a bag of lies. Worst raised man, wanna inform up, gun Babylon and every one of them dirty guys. And if they wanna go around the order, I guarantee somebody's dropping flight.
You know where to deal with stats, facts, and data.
Facts matter. See, if we're going to have a conversation, we have to agree that there's some things that are just true. Facts and data matter.
R.I.P. the Godfather. Entonces, recuérdame, gente del mundo, estoy lista para ti, para todos, siempre. Ya tú sabes.
Listos pe los chingazos. Listos pe los chingazos.
I am that bitch, always been that bitch, always will be that bitch. I signed up, I got the job, and you are stuck with me. The female Svengali.
It's hype, you suck at life, you don't want a round three. Worship the queen and your mic the pass. Keep it real, these chicks couldn't wipe my anyway, now let's go get Bulgari. I am the ultimate Bengali. These chickens can't even spell that. You hoes fucking repel that.
Just to tell me this sister. Anyway, guys, I've had an amazing show. Thank you for all for turning up, for all for coming. And I shall see you, I think, just keep abreast of the community tab. I shall see you in the week. Anyway, I'm gone. Shouts out to the IBF British heavyweight champion of the world, Daniel Dynamite Dubois. You bun down the whole building. And commiserations to Anthony AJ Joshua. Anyway, I'm gone. Hey girl, it's Lady Shan, rep none less. Come box with Shan. Gyan. Lady Shan has left the booties in. Gyan.
Round one, fight.